You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, before I go any further with today's episode of Keek on the Mic, make sure you comment down below, bear down, and give a huge congratulations to cornerback Jaylon Johnson, as him and the Chicago Bears have reached a deal on a 4-year, $76 million extension with $54.4 million guaranteed. Obviously, Jaylon Johnson, it's well-deserved. He deserves all the money in the world. He's a building block for the Chicago Bears franchise, and we keep in place one of our key defensive studs on the Chicago Bears football team. So make sure you comment down below and congratulate cornerback Jaylon Johnson. So, Bears fans, after paying up Jaylon Johnson to that new 4-year, $76 million contract, that is worth $19 million a year. That now puts the Chicago Bears at around $58 million to spend when free agency opens up on March 13th. So on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, I wanted to go over 5 different players that I would love to see the Chicago Bears add. Obviously, I'm not guaranteeing that this will happen. These are just the players that I would add once free agency opens up on March 13th. As always, as I'm going through each and every one of these players, feel free to comment down below in the comment section and continue to engage with me. I appreciate every single one of you guys and support that you guys continue to show Keek on the Mic. So the first player that I was signing, to me, this should be Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears. Top target once free agency opens up on March 13th, and that is defensive tackle Christian Wilkins. He just turned 28 years old. He stands at 6'4", 311 pounds. And Bears fans, Christian Wilkins is an absolute monster, and he would instantly make the Chicago Bears defensive line a top 10 unit. Once again, just turned 28 years old. He's coming off a career year with 9 sacks. He has 20 and a half sacks in his entire career with the Miami Dolphins. And he's honestly a rare beast who can play both the run and the pass. He's wrecking havoc in the backfield on every other play. To me, I do not know why the Miami Dolphins did not lock Christian Wilkins down. To me, this would be my top target as soon as free agency opens up on March 13th. This would be a dream signing for Ryan Poles, and especially for a guy like head coach Matt Eberflus that has been searching for a true 3 technique ever since he has taken over as a Chicago Bears head coach a couple of years ago. And we have now been gifted the opportunity to go out and sign Christian Wilkins. We have the cap space to do it. Pairing Christian Wilkins with Montez Sweat on the same defensive line will make this unit a top 10 unit in the National Football League. And I know what you guys are thinking. Well, Keek, how about Danielle Hunter? To me, Danielle Hunter is right behind Christian Wilkins. If we are not able to get a deal done with Christian Wilkins, Danielle Hunter would then be right after Christian Wilkins. But to me, it should be Christian Wilkins or bust. This should be our home run signing at the start of free agency on March 13th. This would be the perfect piece for the Chicago Bears defense. The next player I would love to see the Chicago Bears sign is safety Xavier McKinney. McKinney is only 24 years old, stands at 6 foot, 201 pounds. McKinney is a very solid player and would be an ideal replacement for Eddie Jackson. In 2023, he had 116 total tackles, 11 passes defended, and 3 interceptions. And he's had 9 interceptions in his first 4 years for the New York Football Giants. The only thing about Xavier McKinney is that he does have some injury history, but I feel like that it's worth the risk. Once again, he's only 24 years old, and he will continue to get better. Obviously, you get younger at that position. Obviously, Eddie Jackson was getting up there. You pair McKinney with Jaquan Brisker. Obviously, you have the defensive line in place. If you get Christian Wilkins in the fold, to me, this would be a very dominant defense for the Chicago Bears. And I think Xavier McKinney would be the ideal fit for the back end of the Chicago Bears defense. The next player I would love to see the Chicago Bears sign once free agency opens up on March 13th, and this may come by some surprise to some of you Bears fans, and that is running back Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is 26 years old, stands at 5'10", 220 pounds. And obviously, according to ESPN Chicago, there has been mutual interest between Josh Jacobs and the Chicago Bears. Josh Jacobs, I guess, said that he would love to play or be in a Chicago Bears uniform. And I would absolutely love this move for the Chicago Bears. I personally feel like it was a mistake to let go of David Montgomery. I understand they did offer a contract to David Montgomery and he just turned it down. But ever since we lost David Montgomery, and I'm not saying that Khalil Herbert or Roschon Johnson are not good football players, but I still think we can definitely improve at that running back position. And Josh Jacobs would be exactly that. Josh Jacobs is an elite running back in the National Football League. In 5 seasons with the Las Vegas Raiders, he has over 5,500 rushing yards, 46 rushing touchdowns, a 4.2 average yards per play, and three out of the 5 seasons have been 1,000-yard rushing seasons for running back Josh Jacobs. To me, if there is mutual interest and he wants to be a Chicago Bear, I think Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears should definitely talk to him about maybe joining the Chicago Bears. I think for me personally, rather you keep Justin Fields or go get a guy like Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick, you need a strong running game. And obviously, Josh Jacobs has been one of the best for a while. He led the NFL in rushing 2 seasons ago. So this guy is absolutely elite, and he still has a lot of tread on those tires. And to me, I would absolutely love this move for the Chicago Bears to bring Josh Jacobs in. The next guy on my list, Bears fans, is wide receiver Curtis Samuel. He's 27 years old, stands at 5'11" and 194 pounds. There has been rumors leading up to free agency that the Chicago Bears will double down at wide receiver. Obviously, we need a massive overhaul at the wide receiver position. Outside of DJ Moore, we basically have no consistency. Obviously, Darnell Mooney is set to be a free agent. We still have Velus Jones Jr. and Tyler Scott, but obviously those are 2 young guys that are still trying to figure out what they're going to be or who they're going to be in the National Football League. And to me, when I look at a guy like Curtis Samuel, he would be a perfect wide receiver 2 or even wide receiver 3 option for the Chicago Bears. Rather it's Justin Fields or Caleb Williams. I feel like this is a dependable guy that's consistent. He's fast, a good route runner, good strong hands, good yards after catch ability. Obviously, he has a relationship with DJ Moore, and I think he would be a pretty cheap option. You could probably get him for around $7 to $9, maybe $10 million a year. And to me, I think it's worth the price to bring in a guy that has shown consistent production for the last couple of years. I would absolutely love Curtis Samuel to be a part of this Chicago Bears offense. The last guy I would really like to see the Chicago Bears target at the start of free agency on March 13th is AJ Epenesa, the edge rusher from the Buffalo Bills. He is 25 years old, stands at 6'6", 260 pounds. And to me, this would be a low-key great move for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears to make. When you look at AJ Epenesa, he's only continuing to get better. He has back-to-back 6.5 sack seasons. And Bears fans, I feel that he will continue to grow and build off those consistent productions that he's been having the last couple of years with the Buffalo Bills. Once again, he's only 25 years old. I think you add a guy like Christian Wilkins, he's a very good young pass rusher. He'll continue to get better. You pair him with Montez Sweat. I think this would be a very good defensive line. And not only that, AJ Epenesa would also be a much cheaper option compared to going to get a guy like Danielle Hunter or maybe even a guy like Chase Young as well. And then you can still address the need in the NFL draft as well with Jared Verse or Dallas Turner as well. But I would absolutely love AJ Epenesa to be a part of the Chicago Bears defensive line. All right, Bears fans. So these are the 5 players I would love to see the Chicago Bears target in free agency. Obviously, there's so many other players that they could possibly target, but these are just the 5 players that come to my mind once free agency opens up on March 13th. Do you guys like the players I listed on today's episode of Geek on the Mic? Or are there other players on your mind that you would love to see Ryan Poles and Chicago Bears target once free agency opens up on March 13th? But news is about to start coming fast and furious in the next couple of days. As free agency approaches, the Chicago Bears have some money to spend, and I do expect Ryan Poles to add a couple of free agents to make the Chicago Bears roster a whole lot better. So Bears fans, overall, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for our all new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys. And as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.